Coronavirus. Oh my. What a tangled web we weave. We're gonna be talking about coronavirus. I'm not sure the way I said that. This doesn't come out right. But in any case, we'll be talking about coronavirus today on the morning show. The show, basically, it's developing from other times I do broadcast in the morning. I figure I can get a broadcast out in the morning and just get it out of the way if I don't do anything else. But the rest of the day, and at least I did the morning show, right? So we're going to try that to try to compensate for the other challenges that we're having and that our faithful watchers and listeners already know about. Well, let's get started. Join us. And you share it out there. Coronavirus, you hear my wisdom on it. And preparedness on that and many other things we should be prepared for and probably aren't. So let's get into this today. Morning show with Reverend Dr. Roberto Rosado. So let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome to our show today. We're talking about coronavirus and preparedness mostly. I'm going to cover some of the news in our regular lineup, but mostly the news headlines are dominated by coronavirus concerns. I'm going to talk about the common things, but also things that you're not hearing about that people really should be getting ready for, regardless of the truth or not of coronavirus's origins and reality. We're going to talk about reality in today's show, and you guys need to smarten up, listen, and make preparations, okay? Because you might as well take this coronavirus thing as a trial run, which means it's like a drill. Remember you had the fire drills in school when you were a young kid? This is a drill. This is a fire drill, except it's real, but it's not as real and it's not going to hit home in the way that future things will. The issue is, in a way, you're getting the heads up. In other words, somebody's trying to tell you something. It's trying to tell you, hey, your tomorrows are not guaranteed. So don't be so heads over heel about this coronavirus to only forget after it's over. You say, oh, that's over with. Now we have nothing to worry about. No. This is just simply the beginning of pain. It's the beginning of things that will come that are stronger than this and more widely impacting than this. Okay, so this is just a trial run. Okay, with real blood. There's real blood here. There's people losing their lives. They're dying early. Okay, and but still, this is not the big one. The big one is still on its way. And the big one can be a combination. As a matter of fact, I do already know that it will be a combination of things. It will be disease. It will be famine, which means no food on the store shelves. It will mean natural disasters. Okay, this will be quite a living nightmare. And the question is, if you're flipping out with coronavirus, just wait to see what you're going to do when the real big stuff starts happening and they get compounded. That's the scary thing. One thing at a time, we can gear up and this and that and run for the hills. But when we have compounded issues that destroy our normal sense of well-being, and our reality. And even if you ran for the mountains, there's no mountains to run to. That type of compound problems and issues. This is what's coming. And the question is, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to deal with complex issues? Okay, because your life is already complex. Um, your life has full of things you need from outside your home. And when going outside your home becomes an issue, what are you going to do? You need to survive. You need to be able, are you able to watch your kids starve to death? I mean, is that something you're able to do? Because this is a real possibility. This is no longer just, what do you call this? Conspiracy theory and end of the world fanaticism, or people that are just always negative, have a negative perspective. In this world, as you can see with the coronavirus, this is a real possibility. And the coronavirus is just a small accident that has happened. And can you imagine when something's done on purpose and maliciously by evil actors? Okay, we're not talking about Hollywood now. So this is the reality, and I think most of you guys are freaking out with just this thing. I call this a little thing, even though people are dying. It's still a little thing of what it could be, because I understand what it could have been. I do understand also if things were compounded, if there's other things. Like right now, I think within the next week or so, there's an asteroid passing the Earth. Passing. Now, it could have been simply right on a direct collision course with the Earth. Not that they would tell you, but can you imagine that? People trying to stay away from this coronavirus, and then like in a day or two, bam, the Earth gets hit from space by a rock from space, a significant size that just totally whacks this planet, raises up all sorts of dust into the air. It shuts the sun down, in terms of the blocks the sun's rays from going into down to the surface for weeks. You know what that does to the crops? You really realize how food will run out very quickly like that? Even people trying to that know how to survive by themselves out on the land, and you have your farm and all that, your crops are gone. All right, so these are the things that you got to be understanding that you have to be prepared for. In terms emotionally, because the push comes to shove, everything you're going to run out. Even if you store up things, you're going to run out. The problem here is preparing yourself mentally for the possibility for an extinction, at least local extinction event. LEE, Lee, a local extinction event. and can easily become a regional extinction event, a re or a li, as opposed to a g. So these are the things that, are we mentally prepared? Because you got to realize at one point or another you cannot possibly store enough or prepare yourself enough for every length or any length of time of a compounded um, EOL, end of life, or extinction event that is prolonged, so that it becomes an extinction event. You see, that's what makes it an extinction event. This coronavirus could be an extinction event. If this for example, if this coronavirus was something that mutates quickly, spreads quickly, and mutates quickly. There's no doctor in the world, there's no laboratories that can be able to track that sucker down to shut it down. Okay, so it's continually mutating. Not that it is. I'm saying, imagine if this was a quickly mutation or mutated type of virus. You would have a prolonged coronavirus expands throughout, and they still don't even know if the heat of the spring and summer will quell this virus. That is unknown. So imagine if the virus continues to impact society throughout the summer months, it doesn't stop, and that it mutates. So you have what we would call an extinction event, a possible extinction event, just with the coronavirus, if it had those qualities, which it doesn't so far. We don't know about it surviving through the summer months, but we're not seeing it mutate quickly. It looks like it did mutate once already, so that's been tracked, but it doesn't look like it's mutating quickly. And again, it still is something that would need to be discovered if it did, or if it was doing that. So, but let's imagine. I mean, that's all it takes. You can have an extinction event with just one virus going bonkers, and with governments fooling around with things, trying to have some type of leverage over the United States. You can have that happen, any one of these years coming. So, and then obviously, what is more real, what's more likely, is that you have a virus like the coronavirus plus an asteroid hit into the planet, raising ruckus on this planet for an extended period of time. And what else? I mean, I think that even just two things together of that magnitude would devastate a large number of populations across the planet. Okay, now we're talking about Revelation type of catastrophe that the book of Revelation in the Bible talks about. It talks about something, wormwood falling from the heavens, a rock coming down from space and hitting the earth and killing the oceans. Right? It says it kills a third of the oceans, or 2/3 of it. I have to look back at that. But it turns the oceans red with blood, meaning death. That's what it means. It doesn't have to. People looking for red this and red that. Oh, that's the fulfillment. It just has to kill off life. That's all it has to do. It doesn't have to turn blood red. It says it, but it can just kill off life, and that's the symbology that we see in scriptures. You can see scriptures as a literal thing happening, or it can also be a figurative thing. As if a third or two-thirds of the ocean dies, then it's dead. And the symbols for that is blood. It's blood, meaning blood is shed. It means there's death. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that the it turns red. It's just describing. It could be simply describing death in either case, because it can turn red too, and still the organisms and fish and other sea life and subsequent then on Earth, people who depend on the sea for their sustenance also will die. And so it can be both at the same time, and most likely would be. So that is the realities that we have to deal with. The Bible prophesies that a compounded catastrophes and extinction events are coming. Now, it doesn't mean that they weren't some of it or some things close to it or similar to it uh, cannot happen before. I mean, obviously, there could be. Just because the Bible says that the earth will shake and the end of time doesn't mean that there are no other earthquakes that can occur before then, and indeed they have. So, usually, yes, the prophecies have pre-event fulfillments in the sense that this happened, earthquakes happen. We already have reports that rivers and whatnot turn red. So we already see that. So is that the big one? No, it isn't. It wasn't the big one, but we are already seeing those signs. But when the big one happens, the question is, are you ready for when the big one happens? For when the compounded uh, moment happens where you have one disaster and then another and then horribly another. I think with three, I think we're all done. Pretty much, if we have three together, something like the coronavirus, which quickly mutates, an asteroid hitting the Earth dead on, and just raising up all sorts of hell and smoke and dust into the air and clouding up the atmosphere so much that the sun can hardly be seen any longer, and that stays that way for a couple of weeks, a month or two. I mean, you're talking about total crop devastation, and that means no food. And the crops die. That means the animals die because they depend on the grass and other things so that they can eat and survive. And we won't have meat. We won't have milk. We won't have eggs. We won't have chicken or beef. We will not have salad or any green thing to eat. How are you going to survive? So these are and then on top of that, you get a quickly mutating coronavirus to deal with, airborne, and you have all this death around that also creates pestilence and disease. So it'll be a madhouse on this planet. You guys are not realizing that. You guys have to, at this point with the coronavirus thing, you shouldn't be panicking. You should not be panicking. You should be thinking. And the smartest thing that I guess the U.S. government and other governments are saying, it really is smart, is for you guys to calm down, because really you're wasting your time. The time to prepare for this was before it happened. But right now that this thing is going on, you really need to start thinking how to prepare yourself and your families for the real big ones, because those are yet to come and compounded. So that's what you guys need to start needing to do, to realize. And so there's things that you should be preparing, And mostly it's mental conditioning, really, that creates the actions, physical actions, to do what is the right thing to do and to make the proper preparations. So it's really a thing of mindset. And that's really the first thing, because it's like if you don't know how to save money yesterday, and so today you went through this issue with the rent, you're going to have that same problem tomorrow. Just because you resolve this issue of rent today doesn't mean that next month you're going to not have that problem. Your problem isn't that you needed to pay rent this month. The problem that you have is that you don't know how to budget. And if you don't know how to budget, that means month to month to month, or every 2 or 3 months, you're going to have a problem. See? So that's it. So if right now you guys are panicking, this is the thing you should be realizing. I have to come out here and tell you, point it out to you. If you guys are panicking right now, right? That means you're totally unprepared. You will be totally caught off guard for the real deal, which is yet to come. Okay? So you're totally unprepared. So again, take this moment of time to reflect and to gather your thoughts and to see, wait a minute, let's compound the situation. Let's make this situation worse than it really is, and ask the question or answer, am I ready, and do I have my family ready? Okay. And then, because most of you will say no, and then what you need to start doing immediately and permanently in your lifestyle, in your home, in your family, is to institute new practices to ensure that if this or the next time something worse than this occurs, you are comfortable. You are okay. I did everything that we could possibly do. So we're going to hunker down and ride the storm. And that's basically what you guys need to understand. That needs to be done. You guys can't be wasting any more time after this coronavirus bit. All right. So, and this includes things like the way your family hygiene, your family culture, the things you guys do. You have to pay close attention, because these things are germs. This is a virus. This can stay on your sinks and on your countertops, and when you're cleaning dishes, if you're not cleaning that sponge, you're transferring virus and bacteria to all the things you're supposedly cleaning, and it's not cleaning from the bacteria. I mean, you got the meal off the plate, but there's still bacteria that was in the sponge that you just put on that plate. And this things, viruses, these little bugs, microscopic bugs that you can't see, if they stay alive long, then you're infecting the whole family. You guys are done. You guys are done because you don't practice clean home living. Things like sanitizing the things you use to wash the dishes. It's not just, "Hey, it's a soap. It has soap." No, no, no. There's bacteria there. So you have to practice, sanitizing your rags or your sponges. They have to be sanitized. When before you go to sleep, you need to put a dish of peroxide, some antibacterial, whatever you have, and let that sit overnight in there, killing the germs. Killing, because you need to have some cleaning, some clean things, clean rag. And don't be taking the same rag or sponge you use for the dishes to wipe off the countertops. A lot of you guys are cross contaminating yourselves. You have to be careful. What you use to clean one thing, don't use it to clean another. You have to be careful of that. That's a very easy way to cross contaminate, to bring germs in and to take germs out and transfer them. So all of these type of thing, yeah, you have to teach your children proper hygiene. You have to have it yourself so they can model you. But I know some of these kids are just piggish. They're just piggish. But you really need to drive it home that they and make it easy for them to be clean. Have those wipes with that have antibacterial in them, so that right at the dinner table, don't give them a napkin, give them the wipes. Matter of fact, give them the alcohol wipes that you usually get at a restaurant or something, or on an airplane. They give you these packaged wipes that are moistened and they probably have some alcohol in it and whatnot. That's what you need to give them. Then make it available. You clean your hands with this. You clean your mouth with this. No one leaves the table with germs on their hands. That's what you got to make happen. When the kids come home from school, if you're waiting for them at the bus stop, you should be waiting for them with some sanitized or sanitizer. Here, wipe your hands. Let's walk. When they get home, give them another one of those wipes with the alcohol in it, whatever, hands and mouth and face and like that. Go take a shower. Yeah, they're going to take a shower. Let them. No. Don't let them walk through the house dragging in whatever they have. Have them take the shoes off. Matter of fact, at the door. You have to change. I know a lot of people let the kids just go in the house and track all the germs from outside and from whatever dog poop they were stepping in all day long at school, and let them just track through the house with that. You don't want that. You don't want that crap in your house. See, so you have to make changes. You have to be clean conscience, especially now. You have to use these times right now to change the way your lifestyle and the way your kids are being raised, because it's their generation. Really, if we survive through our generation here without this major catastrophe, it's most certainly going to be their generation that's going to see a very serious bug or a compounding of bugs or events, and your training them today will help them survive and your progeny survive, if that matters to you. So you really do need to make those changes. And then obviously you need to make certain things, assets. You need to start thinking about what you're going to do. You have to leave where you live. If where you live becomes uninhabitable, um, do you have a place that you can go and take your family and live out the rest of your lives, whatever how long that may be? Do you have a place like that? Most people don't. Most people just think they're going to live and die in the same place wherever they're at. And if you're thinking that way, you're not ready. You're not ready. You really should be branching out into some other things, and it fits with a good financial planning. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not providing financial advice. That's a disclaimer. Go contact the lawyer or your financial advisor for any of that particular information. But the sensible financial plans and financial advice is also good survival advice as well. So you need to look at these things not just as a way to make money, because I know I do a lot of programming about making money and making extra income and this and that, but these are actually fantastic ways of shielding yourself in times of an emergency and having surviving assets. Like one of our programs is for precious metals, and so you build up precious metals. You have them in storage. You can have them also in your home in a safe box, And things can happen. If an asteroid hits, there's going to be a run on the banks. Even if the coronavirus was the thing that people were going nuts and they had to buy this and they were running on the banks, and you have a financial collapse because things are collapsing. The farms are collapsing. The businesses are collapsing. There's already airline that went out of business just with what's happening already with coronavirus. It's already killing some airlines already. So you imagine if you have a prolonged event, and that those are people's jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if all of the structure that you depend on to survive, especially you guys in the major city, if all of that falls apart, how are you going to survive? You're going to need something in your hand. If the financial, let's say, the dollar collapses, the world economy collapses, the only thing that's going to have value are things that always have value without money. What do you have in your house now that will always have value that is not money? See? Some of you, all you have is whatever money you have in your pocket right now. And when those times come, it won't mean nothing. You might as well use it as toilet paper. See? So these are the things, again, one of the programs, precious metals, our people, they're going to have assets. The collapse of the world can happen. The economies of all the nations can collapse, and there may not be a way for you to use Bitcoin. I mean, no internet, no anything. A solar flare just knocked out everyone's electronics. The only value will be a precious metal, usually gold, but you need to have it in hand. You need to have it. See? So you would see one of my programs and say, "Oh yeah, gold and all that. Yeah, talk about money and having, getting this gold and this and that. Yeah, yeah." You look at it that way, but there's a time and a scenario where you having gold in your hand will make the difference. So it's not just about making money. It's not just about having extra income. It is now because we have everything else. It's extra income because we have everything else we need. But when the everything else we need is no longer there, the things I teach you will be the only things available. Will be the only things that you transactionable. And if you ignore the things I told you, even in this message today, then you will really, truly be impoverished and on your way to dying if you haven't done so already. And it would have been just a foolish death and a wasted death because all you had to do was take heed. Take heed to the warning. All right. So I'll cut it short here. Listen, I don't want to bang your head against the wall. Don't cough. But I'll give you some updates today on what we're doing. Today is our real estate. Let me check on this. I'm going to check what we're doing today. Today's Thursday. We do our real estate programs today that we'll be featuring and bringing to your memory. So we'll be doing that a little later on again if I can. And tonight at 6, we're supposed to have the Russian polyglot. However, I do have a meeting to go to tonight. So I probably will, if I can do it, I'll do it around 4 o'clock. But if I can't, then I will not do the Russian thing tonight. So that'll be, have to do that because I have I believe tonight we have, let me just check what we have tonight. It's for Spaceparium. Yeah, it's the Spaceparium game is starting up here in Orlando. So that'll be happening tonight at here in Kissimmee. Again, it's a limit of 100 players. So the Orlando Spaceparium crew and the game is starting up in Orlando. That's the news flash. And our first meeting is tonight at 7 p.m. And we have people heading over there tonight, and we'll be over there getting our crew together and getting started with Spaceperium. We're making great advances in this game. Again, don't be left out. Again, you gotta guys gotta start thinking. All right, so the Spaceperium, look into that game, look into our program on that game, and on YouTube we have the Play Pay Box YouTube channel. You'll have to do a little searcheroo magoo on YouTube. I think if you type in Play Pay Box uh, or Play Paybox Gaming like that, you should see the channel. Okay, so you can subscribe to that. It's just a new channel. We got a few videos on there, but that's where you have to go to keep up with our development in games. There's a on for Play Paybox particularly. On Twitch as well, we will Play Paybox on Twitch. You can find us on Twitch as Play Paybox, and so that's those things you need to be looking at. But absolutely, you need to be looking at our Game Master opportunity because that's where the big money's at. Playing the game, you do earn income. You do earn income. It's the 100 only because after the 100, you can't earn income. You can't join the game really at this phase. But if you're the first part of the first 100 in your area, you can. You'll be earning income. But the game master, the captain, the commander of the ship, that's the one. That's the business partner. So he's going to be making a lot of money. He or she. Don't have to be a guy. You can be a gal. You just have to act on this quickly and get that going for yourself. So that's at mycbh.com/LP/Game Master. One word, Game Master. Okay, and then look at that opportunity. Grab some popcorn, soda, sit back, look at it, play it back, and understand it, comprehend it, and take action. Okay, before someone else does. Again, you can only join in your area. So once someone takes the spot, it's done. Done deal. All right, so that's it for our morning. Everything basically in the news had to do with coronavirus and the impact of it on businesses already around the world is being felt. And in the US here, we're just getting started with it. It's just getting started here. Again, thankfully, it's not one of those super bugs that it could be and might still turn out to be. It could be. It could. We just don't know yet enough about it. It's already changed once. Obviously, it's not that fast. We would have known it if it does it quickly, and then that will really be a trouble. But we could have been there, and that's the whole point of this warning. We could have been there, and you're not ready. So again, make yourselves ready. At this point, increase your income streams. Don't be spending money on BS. Increase your income streams. Consider the programs that I feature on my channels, and also the seminars that we do with real estate investing. Today's our real estate day, so we'll be doing a few shows, hopefully today, but every Thursday as well. You really should be looking into this because in either case, even as an investment and as a survival asset, it's absolutely needed. You need the precious metal, you need the real estate, and simply we have a new it evolved from the old program we had with cryptocurrency, and really it's the issue of leveraging cryptocurrency with real estate. So we have these programs available for you, and the good thing is that my programs are low. They're low entry. You don't have to make a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of extra money every week. As long as you have a little bit, even just $25, if you can muster $25 a week from your check, from your paycheck, or wherever income you're making now, if you can set aside $25, you can start really making 4 times that in return, I mean, that's the smart thing to do. You have to increase your income, and with 25, with as little as $25, you can start doing that with one of our programs. We have about one, two, I would say around three programs, and three, four programs, and one of them has multiple versions, like the precious metals. I mean, there's a gold program. You can do the silver. You can do the platinum, and you can do the with that is the what's that other one? Platinum. There's it escapes me now what that last one is. But you can have those four. You can do the crypto and have around this like 10 different crypto payout, options. So it's basically 10 different programs with that. And that's all within the crypto precious metals program, you see. So we have options. There are options out there. But the key is like the compounding disasters could wipe us out. Well, compounding your solutions can prosper you and can maintain your life and your family's life in times of emergency. That's the other thing about it. So when there's an emergency, you're ready. You got precious metals in case the financial system collapses, and you have a place to go in case where you're at now becomes inhospitable because of people trying to survive and kill anyone. So they can survive. You need to get out of it. You need to go to some place where they can't find you, and you have a survival capacity there and preparedness there, and you can take your family and extend your days and extend the human race if need be, if that's what is destined to be. So you need to have those options. All the other dummies will perish, and that's just the simple fact of it. That's you have the Neanderthals and all the fossils we find. That's the evidence that is absolutely true. So again, be the smart ones and be the ones to survive. Do the right things today. Take care. Think about these things. Prepare yourselves for the next one, because the next one may be compounded in one way or another, and that's where you need to be ready. And I hope and pray that all of you take heed to these warnings, because that's what they are. God is just simply, hello, wake up. Things are changing. These are your warning signs. And it's time to smell the coffee and to do something to prepare yourselves for the coming days. Take care, and God be with each and every one of you. Take care.